Hey there, Joe Gracci, Growth Advisor and Scale Up Coach. So today we're going to talk about leveling up your business, leveling up your management team. What's the upside and what's the downside? For one thing, on the upside, it's enhanced expertise and leadership, introducing fresh perspectives to your business, specialized knowledge and expertise, and effective leadership can drive the business forward. It can also introduce new best practices to your organization, mentor existing teams, as well as facilitating the strategic planning process. So bringing in fresh perspectives to your management team meetings and your planning meetings. The second one is delegation and scalability. So business owners can now focus on higher value strategic initiatives. The business can handle more workload. You can expand into new markets. You could look at diversification of product offerings. So there's a lot more areas and spaces of the market that you can get into by leveling up your management team. And the third is risk mitigation and succession planning. So obviously reducing dependency risk, especially for business owners or for single individuals in your organization, is really critical. So you're reducing your risk profile by leveling up your management team. But there is a downside. What is the downside of it? For one thing, cultural fit and alignment. So bringing in new managers with fresh perspectives can also affect company culture. It can create conflicts if there's a change that needs to be driven throughout the organization. And it could create some misalignment on the organization's values, mission, and working style. So one of the key things to consider is every new hire you bring into the organization, especially a leadership hire, can put your culture at risk. The second one is resistance to change. Your existing employees, clients, vendors, they might resist some of the changes introduced by new leaders or new managers. And so those could be positive changes, and you have to go through some painful processes to make those happen and put them in place. And there is a greater good at the other end of it, but it could be very disruptive too. It could lead to turnover, it could lead to lost business, it could lead to resentment and morale issues. So you got to be mindful of that. And then the last one is cost and investment. Obviously, you're making a big investment in leveling up your management team, especially for small to medium-sized businesses that have limited budgets for this. So they really are making a bet on bringing in new talent, new leadership in their team. It does require time and a financial investment. So you have to give it lots of runway. One of the big mistakes I see is someone, budgets, maybe 6 to 12 months, and they say, well, if it happens and it works out great, wonderful. Otherwise, we're going to have to move on. And yes, if there's performance issues, if there's a cultural fit issue, absolutely. But you have to budget at least 18 to 24 months of runway to make sure that you get the full benefits of bringing new leaders and managers onto your team. For more tips on professionalizing your business and building an 8-figure marketable business, please follow me on YouTube.